Hey, Virginia. Ain't been live in a while and just asked Tatum, so I figured it was time. People are always getting on to me saying, Tatum. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Connie. This is a subject that, actually, I was actually talking about this subject today. And, I figured that, hi, Wendy. This is a subject I was talking about today, and, someone asked me and made the comment that, Tatum, that you had, hey, Earl, hey, Michelle, and made the comment, I'd always done good in this area, and, I had a great husband, and I do have a great husband. But let me tell you, I had to kiss some frogs before I got to the good man, okay? But, let me start by saying this. First of all, a narcissist or a controlling person, when you start out in a relationship, you don't always see the signs of that. And I think that, if you don't always see the signs, most of the time you will, but you might not all the time. But, hey, Jessica, but after a while, if you start to see the signs, let me explain something to you. If you don't stop it then, it's going to continue to go. And then it's going to be just as much your fault because you're allowing that to happen. Hey, Millie, you're going to allow that to happen. So you have to stop it right then and there. And 9 times out of 10, a narcissist or someone who's controlling is not going to change. A tiger does not change its spots. I mean, that's just the way it is. Hey, Judy. I mean, that's just the way it is, guys, and I hate to tell you that. But if you want to live in that type of relationship, I have seen people who have lived in it. I've never actually lived in it because I stopped it before it really started. Because I'm just the type of person, I'm an a-hole when it comes to something like that. I'm not going to put up with it. And my husband laughs about it. He says, y'all really think my wife would put up with me being that way? But I have to say, hey, Jennifer, I have a great husband. Not just a good husband. I have a great husband. But he will tell you, I would not put up with that. I'm not going to. Life is too short. We only get older. We don't get younger. And, I mean, let me explain to you how I look at it as a kind of relationship. Like, if you have to ask your significant other, and this can also go for girls too. I mean, like guys, like a guy might have to tell a girl where he's going just as well as a girl might have to tell a guy. So don't think that I'm just being sexist and saying this always goes for the guy. Millie, I was waiting on that. Hi, Shonda. But let me explain some signs. Let's say, you want a girl's night out or a guy's night out. And you've got to go and you've got to tell your significant other. There's a difference between asking and being respectful. Now, like my husband, let's say me and Cindy or Jamie or Michelle, Christy, any of my friends, we're going to go out to eat and we're going to have a girl's night out or go to the movies or we might have to go have a glass of wine or something, I'm going to be respectful enough to call him and say, hey, babe, I'm going to go out, That's true. I'm going to get to that, Virginia, because that is true. That is very true about the kids. I'm going to get to that part because I've never had to experience that, with that, but I'm going to get to that part. Because that is true, Virginia. Very true. But I will call him and be like, okay, hun, I'm going to, go here, whatever. He gets on me all the time because he says, by God, Tatum, make some time for yourself. Make some time for your friends. You need to go. You need to do that. I will, Kyle. I done told him I'll do it. But what Virginia just got at, let me say, now, it don't always start out like that. Neither like, Virginia, I don't think it always starts out. But now when you have children involved, she is right. I could see that. A lot of people eat crow. They do. For when children are involved. They don't recognize it. They don't see a lot of it. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I used to be a very gullible person about people. People would take advantage of me and act a certain way. And I didn't realize that I was being taken advantage of because I was so gullible. You know, somebody could even be hitting on me, and my husband would laugh at me. He'd be like, Tatum, that boy right there is hitting on you. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? And it'll be so funny because I used to argue with him, and the guy really was hitting on me, you know. But what Virginia's saying, that is so true, because like that, she's saying that trauma bond. Sometimes that trauma bond is so tight. It's a love-hate. It is so deep and it's so strong. I can't even tell y'all how that is. But I have seen some friends and some family members that has went through things like that I wanted to say, well, yeah, it's your fault, but then it's a different situation. But now I have seen some people who have allowed it to happen from day one, and they knew what was going on. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but I've been in an abusive relationship before. A lot of people would not believe that, but that is going to be on another topic that I'm going to be talking with somebody about, because I feel like it's time that I put that out there. I haven't really talked about it. I want to throw their hands up and walk away from everything. That does, Connie. It makes you want to... I'll put it to you this way. What do you think about addictions in relationships? Okay, I will say this. I have no room in my life. I cannot stand a druggie. And a lot of people get mad at me by saying this. But when you have something happen to me, like with Joseph, I praise people. There are only a few that get sober out of all these people or whatever. But this is what I cannot stand, Kyle. What I cannot stand is when people throw all this to addicts. They throw all this help towards them. There's some churches, I'm not going to comment. They throw all this. It's not just churches. It's people. It's organizations. They throw all this to addicts. But then you have someone like my son, or people with cancer, or people with diseases, or let's say cerebral palsy. They did not ask for that. You see what I'm saying? But druggies, they have all these chances to get clean, and they choose not to. So it's kind of hard. And when children are involved, it's kind of hard for me to, I say, run like hell and don't look back. That's what I say on that. You want to see the best in people's support systems are key in helping you recognize behavior. Yes, Virginia. And you have had good support systems. And see, let me tell you something. You know, and you know this too, Virginia. You see this. When things like that happen, you also see who is your friends and who are not. Because is addiction a disease or a choice? It is a choice, I believe. That's just me. I'm sorry. I believe it's a choice. I think that some people, a choice can turn into a disease. How does that sound? The trauma is a hell of a lot. It's difficult to get away from. Yes, Millie, it is. Yes, Virginia. You see who your friends are, and you see who stands by you. And let me tell you something. My friends, I tell them, I will give my advice one time, but I will always be there for them no matter what. I might not kiss their tail or, you know, whatever, because I'm going to be like, why am I going to keep telling you my advice if you're not going to take it? But I will be there for them, and the day that they decide to get the hell out, they can call me and know Tatum Thrift Walker is going to be there for them. Hey, Jesse. But that's just how it is. You got to have a support system. And also, too, guys, you got to know you cannot do it by yourself. No matter, you got to make the choice by yourself, but you cannot get away from after the kids grow up. Move away. Yes, it is harder, Connie, because you don't have that. I don't know how to say that. You might want to help me out with that. But the thing, hey, Kristen, but the thing is, hey, Jody, but the thing is, the support system is to help you understand your depression or however you're handling it. You know, hey, Patricia, you have to understand that it's okay to be depressed. It's okay to get pissed. It's okay to be whatever you want to feel. It's okay. But you need somebody to hold your hand. You don't need to do it by yourself. But the choice you have to make by yourself. But it's okay to just talk about your choice and explain to that support system why you made that choice. But it is okay to ask for their advice. But you are the one that has to make that choice. That's why a lot of people don't understand that. You can't just be, y'all got to make the choice for me. No, they can't make it for you. You got to make it, but you can get their advice on how to do it. Remember when you pulled up in the back of the salon and we was back there talking and you was like, do I need to get your back? Yes, I do, Kyle. Yes. And let me tell y'all something. Just because you're friends with somebody don't mean they're family. And let me tell you something. One of the favorite things I've always loved about Fast and the Furious, and I know y'all thinking, what's she talking about? She's going off script here. I love it when Dome says, I don't have friends, I have family. And I believe that. Hey, Elaine, I believe that. I will always believe that. You know, I have a big family, a huge family. And I have a huge support system. But I have friends that I consider family. You know, I call them sis. I tell them I love them. It don't matter. I say, hey, Bubba, you know, thank you, Kyle. And I need to get with you, too, because I have something that's fixing to be going on. And I need to get with you, so remind me of that, please. But remember this, too. God loves you. You are loved. You are enough. And let me tell you something. Narcissistic and controlling people can make you think you don't deserve no better. That is not true. When I first got with Michael, it took him a while. Love you too, Elaine. It was a while before I would go on a date with him. Because I was not used to that. I was used to assholes. Excuse my language, but that's just what it was. And that's what I become one. Because I don't believe, you know what, hey Joanne, what people said. I was just like, whatever, you know, I ain't got time for this, you know. I had so many guy friends and I had seen how they treated girls that I was like, you know, whatever. Oh yeah, Millie, they do, you do. And a lot of times they choose to, because if the narcissist or the controlling one is the one trying to buy their love over the love, they do that. They look, I can't even talk right now. Let me get something to drink. They do that because they're just stupid. I'll be honest with you. But what was I saying, Lord? I done lost my train of thought. It's out here in what, y'all, end of April, it's 100 degrees. I got the screen door cracked out here. Joseph's asleep, so y'all know I can't, my big mouth can't be talking in the house because I'll be woke him up. But I know what I was saying. They'll tell you that they'll make you think you're not good enough. But let me tell you something. You are good enough. I deserved Michael, and Michael deserved me. He had lived with somebody that was a POS, okay? Someone who chose drugs. Someone who chose not to love theirself, you know, was handed everything. I mean, she was getting money for a house. She was getting, you know, money for cars. She was getting this. She was getting food stamps. She was getting this and that. And she was on drugs. She didn't even have to work. And there my husband is busting his tail, and she was the hero. You know what I'm saying? That I just don't understand that. But they always try to make them look good and to make you feel like the bad. Oh, of course, Connie. But that ain't how it's gonna be. Not to me. But like us together, we compliment each other. You know, hey Devin, hope you're feeling better, baby. We love each other. We compliment each other. Oh, I know, Millie. Hi, Adam. But, you know, going together, it's just great the way it worked out. But there's nothing narcissistic about him. There's nothing controlling about him. How do you define a toxic relationship? Burn it to the ground. You're welcome, Devin. A toxic relationship is something that, it's a love-hate. I mean, I've been in a toxic relationship before. It's like you love them so much, but you don't want to let it go because that's all you've ever known. Hey, Lisa, if it's something, sometimes something can become a habit. It's not really love. It's a habit. And it's like biting your nails or smoking a cigarette or eating carbs. It's a habit. So that it has to go. But with Michael, I learned that I learned that I deserved that, and I had to learn how to trust, and I had to learn how to give this man a chance and let him have my heart. And it took me a while, but did I give him my heart? And I did, and it was the best decision I ever made. I don't worry about is this man ever gonna break my heart? It's being scared of starting over on your own. It is so scary, Connie. It can be scary, but you got to remember something. You don't need somebody to hold your hand to be who you need to be, because God made us each good at something. Talk is when you find yourself respecting the insane roller coaster. It's never feeling safe. Yes, Virginia. And you know what? It's the rush, too. It's like, I love roller coasters. So, when you get on a roller coaster, I'm telling you something. I don't feel safe on a roller coaster. I don't never know if I'm going to fall out of it or what. But it's the rush. It's fun. And it's like, I couldn't imagine never getting on one again. But it comes to a point where you got to tell yourself, do I want to be happy, or do I want to wake up every day not knowing what I'm going to be today? Self-love is more important than anything. Yes, it is, Kyle. You got to love yourself before you can ever be totally in love with someone else or give them your heart or whatever. I had to love myself and know that, okay, I'm going to finally give my heart to this man. And I did. And like I told y'all, that's the best decision I ever made. I'm going to tell you something. He is my best friend. I trust him with my businesses. Like if I need this or that, he loves my friends. He will do for them. He loves my family. I mean, he raised my son, like he's his own. He's been there since day one. When he got hurt, he fought for him. He's done whatever. I couldn't, and I'm going to tell you something. Everybody, there's somebody out there for you like that. I know you don't think it, but it's when you least expect it, it'll happen. If you go out there tomorrow and you might find them online. I'm not saying you couldn't. And people say you can't find them in a bar. I'm not saying, yeah, he is, Kyle. I'm not saying you couldn't. What's that song? Eminem sings and Rihanna sings. Listen to that defines. Oh my God, Love the Way You Lie. That is a song, and I used to sing that about somebody. Before Michael, there was a relationship, and I don't even know how I would, people ask me about this relationship all the time, and it was never a defined relationship. But it was a love-hate relationship. It was about 8 years from me back into. And, I don't never mention that person really. But, you know what? They were my best friend in some sense. But I learned a lot from that person. One of my favorite quotes is, our first and last love is self-love. We are only forced to live with ourselves and only ourselves. I'm finna screenshot that, Christian, because you know why? I love that quote. That quote right there, everybody, y'all need to screenshot that, Kristen. I really like that quote. That is very true. Our first and last love is self-love. We are only forced to live with ourselves and only ourselves. That's an awesome quote. And that is so true. But you got to love yourself. I mean, let me tell y'all something. People think I don't ever get depressed about Joseph. I get depressed. There's some days I wake up and think, why did this happen to us? Because it didn't just happen to him. The worst part did, but it happened to our whole family, and I think, why? But then I think, but he's here. I'm lucky he's still here, and look what progress he's making. So you just take it at one day at a time and you go, but I have Michael, I have my friends, I have my family, I have Joseph, I have people who care and love, and, or in a toxic relationship, would you consider that enabling that person, or would you draw the line if you constantly go back? If you constantly go back to the toxic relationship, in a way, yes, you are enabling, because I've done that before. Where you draw the line is you have to sit down and you have to ask yourself. Here's the question you have to ask yourself, Kyle. When you get to a certain age, everybody you date, you have to ask yourself, I'm not talking about on the first date, but after a couple months, can you see yourself with this person? Because we're not, like I said, we're not getting no younger. If you can't see yourself married to this person, having a future with this person, don't waste your time. You got to draw the line. That's when, to me, you draw the line. The song I like to listen to is When I'm Having a Rough Day is A Broken Wing by Martina McBride. That's another good song. And another one by Martina McBride is How Far. Kyle, it ain't hard. You can bring them to me. Anybody tell you, Virginia and all them will tell you, I can take them. I can go for it. I love it. But, I'll have to come do y'all's, I told Chad the other day I would. But, and I'll probably bring Michael with me, because that would be a good thing to have him on there too, to show you the marriage version. And, we both have bad relationships, and now we got each other. My friend Lydia and I were just talking about the blessed Joseph is to have you You are a fighter. You are a never... Hold on, it's not letting me. Why didn't it let me see what else she wrote? Okay, there it is. You are a never give up kind of person. Joseph has something. Aw, thank you, Christian. Love you, sweetheart. Actually, Kyle, the other night, I hear Michael back there, like, laughing, and he's watching something, and it was him watching your episodes. So that's how I got to see it. So Michael was watching it. If no boundaries are set, you're teaching them how to treat you, but that has to start early on, which will actually end the relationship, because we are talking about narcs that don't act like their boundaries and the other person is concerned. That's very true. Very, very true, Virginia. Hey, Martha. But that's what I want to come on here and talk to y'all about tonight. I just want to tell you all, guys and girls, y'all are worthy of a great relationship. If you've been with somebody, I don't care if you've been with them 15 years. If you're at this point where you know that there's nothing else can come out of this, even if there's children involved, Virginia can tell you, it might be hard. It might be hard to get out of it. But there are steps to be taken where you can break that bond. So, remember that. So, I love you guys. And I'm going to start coming on with Just Ask Tatum at least once a week. Hey, Marie. So, you know, I can get back on the schedule. I know it's been a while, but y'all know I have other things I do too. So, but I love you guys so much, but I just want to tell y'all, I want to come on, and that was in my mind. So, remember, you are worthy, and God loves you all. Bye, guys.